I first met Elvis. I was working in a credit store down on South Main in Memphis, and he came in to open up a charge account to buy some clothes. And I go up to interview him to get an application filled out. He was not cooperative at all. I asked him his name. He said, "You tell me your name, and then I'll tell you mine." I said, "Let's try this again." I said, "Give me your address." "No, not till you give me your address." Well, I stood there a minute and I looked at him and I said, "This may not work." I said, "If you don't fill this out as I asked you," I said, "you know that door you come in when you come in this store? You can go right back out of it." So he finally looked and he said, "No." Okay, so we filled it out. I called Credit Bureau and he was approved. And that's how it all started, because they come in the store every week to pay on their account. Have you ever been down on like Beale Street? You probably hadn't. Years ago there was pawn shops all down Beale Street. And now, do you know what a pawn shop is? Okay. Well, all these pawn shops had 3 brass balls that hung outside. So Elvis broke from us and went running down there and hollered back at me to run and kiss him beneath the balls. I could have killed him. He's talking about the brass balls up here. All these people look around and I thought, oh my God. Honey, I have lived one heck of a life.
Water fight on a movie called Clambake. The director was a man by the name of Arthur Nadell, and he used to dress immaculately in suits and ties every day with shoes, very expensive. He was just immaculate. So when we got into the water fights, Elvis knew how he dressed, and he said, "Stay away from him, don't get him." So everybody in the world on that set is getting into this water fight with water balloons and stuff. Well, the director went to the assistant and said, "Man, everyone's having such a good time, and they're just leaving me out of it." So the assistant director came to Elvis and told him what the director said. I mean, he was bombarded. You'd have thought that he was on a submarine on the outer deck and went underneath the water, because he was bombarded with water balloons. Suit was soaking wet, looked like he'd just come out of the ocean. Next several days he came to work with those suits on, but he had a raincoat that went all the way down to his feet. He had rubber boots over his shoes, and he had a rain hat that came down and tied, so the only thing you could see was his face, about this much of his face. So we got the message, so then that just went on for a couple of days or so, and then everyone stopped, and he started wearing his suits without the raincoat. But he had a great sense of humor, Elvis did. He loved to pull. We always were pulling pranks on somebody. Cast members, we got the crews involved. Everyone loved working on his movies.
Oh yeah, I think I witnessed one of the biggest pranks was they did a put-on up in Vegas. Some of the new guys were coming in to join the Stamps Quartet, and Elvis had the bodyguards, the Memphis Mafia guys, go out and get some blanks for their guns. They all had real guns. They put blanks in there, and we went up to his suite, and we were having a party, and supposedly somebody busted in the suite and started shooting, and they thought it was for real, and Elvis fell on the floor, and J.D. Sumner jumped on top of Elvis, and he thought Elvis was crying, but Elvis actually was laughing. He looked down, Elvis was laughing, and then J.D. caught on to it, and we all laughed. It was a great stunt that they pulled.
I remember him teasing us by telling us he was going to make the clouds move by mental telepathy, and here we're all out there sitting there staring at the clouds, and they did eventually move. But I think inside he was laughing at us. Yeah.
Well, as as being 8 years difference in our age, a lot of things he was doing that I wasn't quite doing then, but we always, had a pretty close bond. He kind of looked after me and as a kid, and we, what he did and what I did as a kid was, you know, somewhat different because, like I say, there was 8 years difference between us and all. But, Elvis, he was somewhat just a typical teenager as far as, you know, things that were done. He in school, you know, he got along pretty well with most of the kids, and not much of a party goer, but, you know, he got involved in certain school activities and, you know, different things like that. But yeah, he was quite a character, you know, as far as pulling jokes on people and all. And, he got a kick out of it. Now, he wasn't real crazy about the jokes being pulled on him, but, you know,
Okay. One of the practical jokes, during Christmas, Elvis always handed out our bonus checks for all the employees. Well, this was the first year I think McDonald's had their first little gift card things. So he took it upon himself to get everybody's envelope, had your name on it, but he just put the McDonald's coupon in there and gave it to you. So the look on everybody's faces when they was at Christmas and he handed out the bonus check, everybody opened it at the same time and we see McDonald's gift coupons. I mean, it was priceless, the look on everybody's faces, and I mean, he was laughing, and he said, "Okay, guys, here's your real check." So, but I mean, that's the way Elvis was, and that's the Elvis I remember.
Well, the first prank he pulled on me was he called me out in the middle of a show to sing duets with him. I actually took him to the piano, made me play and sing Hawaiian Wedding Song as a solo. But that was some of the things he did on stage. He just always loved surprises and keep us off guard.
I met Elvis in May of 1956 when he had just purchased his home on Audubon Drive. I was 11 and he was 21.
Can you tell me about a prank that you know of him pulling?
Oh, he pulled a lot of pranks. One of them was one Christmas. He gave them all McDonald's gift certificates for Christmas, and he did it with a straight face. And for Elvis, that was rare because he couldn't keep a secret and he couldn't tell a joke. So that was something he pulled off really well.
Only one. I was telling somebody about it a while ago that he and a photographer cooked it up so that he let me in the car. And then he went in and got on the other side, and he reached over and grabbed me and kissed me. And I didn't know the photographer was in the back seat, and he took a picture of it. So, you know, just little harmless things like that.
No, he pulled one on me one time, but another for sure. He used to do things like, you know, have a bowl of peanuts. He'd put these little things that would crackle, you know, when you pop down and bite them, it would pop. He'd throw those in the peanuts and watch people chew them. And his dad did that one time. His dad came in, grabbed a handful, you know, started biting on it. He got so mad at Elvis, he was cussing, you know, but that was Elvis.